This is a 3D model of a human fetus. Now this is not your typical kind of video, but I thought it would be cool to show you the development of a human being from a bunch of cells into a fully formed baby over the course of 9 months. This is sped up 180 times to make it fit into a 3-minute video. So let's go ahead and get started. So this is what the embryo looks like at 3D. It's just a bunch of cells. There isn't really anything that resembles a human being yet, just a bunch of cells. But over the next couple weeks, we're gonna see some major changes. At 4 weeks, the neural tube forms, which eventually becomes the brain and the spinal cord. The heart starts to develop, and the arms and legs start to bud off. At 5 weeks, the head and face start to take shape and the eyes begin to form. The embryo is now the size of a raspberry. At 6 weeks, the arms and legs are fully formed and the fingers and toes begin to develop. The embryo is now about the size of a grape. At 7 weeks, the embryo is now considered a fetus. The facial features become more defined and the sex organs begin to develop. At 8 weeks, the fetus is now about the size of a lime. All of the major organs are now present and the heartbeat can be detected. At 10 weeks, the fetus is now the size of an olive. The hands and feet continue to develop and the muscles begin to form. At 11 weeks, the fetus is now the size of a lemon. The bones begin to harden and the brain continues to develop. At 12 weeks, the fetus is now the size of an orange. The facial features are now fully developed, and the fetus is starting to move around. At 13 weeks, the fetus is now the size of a large grape. The hair follicles develop, and the fetus is covered in downy body hair. At 14 weeks, the fetus is now the size of a small apple. The muscles and bones continue to develop, and the fetus becomes more active. At 15 weeks, the fetus is now the size of a large apple. The eyes open, and the eyelashes and eyebrows develop. At 16 weeks, the fetus is now the size of a head of cauliflower. The fetus continues to move around and the sex organs become more pronounced. At 17 weeks, the fetus is now the size of a sweet potato. The brain continues to develop and the senses begin to develop. At 18 weeks, the fetus is now the size of a large carrot. The fetus is now viable, meaning that if it were to be born early, it could survive outside of the womb with medical care. At 19 weeks, the fetus is now the size of a large banana. The fetus continues to grow and mature. At 20 weeks, the fetus is now the size of a small water bottle. The fetus is now considered full term, and the final preparations for life outside of the womb are made. And here we have a 3D model of a newborn baby. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something new. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. Thanks for watching.